Oye, esto es solo para los rumberos.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Raw Food Muscle, and today we're back out in my yard, and today I'm going to be showing you what I'm doing to grow my own zucchinis. Now last year I grew zucchinis in my vegetable beds, and the problem that I had last year was that it was just taking up a lot of space, because zucchinis will take up about 3 square feet of space, and I mean, if you have plenty of room, then that's not a problem. But for me, you know, I want to make sure that I try to maximize the amount of space that I have. So this year what I decided to do was actually plant some outside of my bed. The other problem that I had last year was that because I had so many of them growing in a small area, they actually kind of overlapped each other, and some of my tomatoes were kind of getting a little bit smothered. So that could be a problem, because last year I was having to prune back some of my tomatoes because they were just getting too bushed out and then overcrowding, and I ended up losing one of my tomato plants that actually grew as a volunteer. So it's really important to make sure that you're planting all of your vegetables according to the space that they need. So this is one of my zucchinis I have growing. I actually have it in the ground, and what I did was I just pulled out some of the soil. My soil here is really sandy, and so what I have to do is make sure I put a lot of rich organic soil in the ground so that these plants have plenty of nutrients for it to grow. And as you can see, I'm not sure if you can see this, but it's actually starting to grow some fruit here, and this is a crooked neck that's actually growing, and it's doing pretty well, and I'm pretty psyched about this because, you know, I really enjoy my zucchinis and my squash and things like that. Last year we grew a lot of them. We had a lot of different recipes we're experimenting with. Some of them were spicy, some of them with creamy types of sauces, and don't you worry, I'm going to be showing you some of that stuff. And there's nothing better than, you know, tasting your own vegetables from your own yard. It's just, you know, unbelievable. Now, so this is what I'm doing here. I actually have this one planted by itself, and it's just going to grow out and do its own thing. And you know, what I do is, you know, I come out here and water it from time to time. It's not really hard to grow your own plants, your own vegetables. I mean, people keep telling me, you know, that, oh, it's hard, how do you have the time to grow your own, you know, your own garden? But really, in the beginning part of the season is where you're going to be doing most of your time spending, especially if you're building a bed and you're putting the soil. But, you know, you're only talking about like a weekend's worth of time, you know, because you're putting the soil in, you're tossing all the soil, you're making sure you got all your nutrients in there, you're building your box if you're doing that, and then that's pretty much it. Everything else is just basically planting the seed. If you're growing them from indoors, then you can do that too, or you can buy them at an organic store and then transplant them. You know, and a lot of the times, you know, people they say they don't have time to do it, but you know, sometimes you just have to do it in the morning or do it in the afternoon. Water your plants. As long as you water them and make sure the soil is rich and you take care of your weeding issues, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. The weeding should be at a minimum, as long as you're doing it, you know, weekly or every few days, and just coming around and pulling out some of your weeds. Like over here, I got, you know, some weeds here, and it's not a whole lot of work, you know. It's just one way to connect with nature and just be out and enjoy nature and take care of your plants. So this is what I'm doing here to grow some of my zucchinis. Now let me show you the backyard and showing you what else I have. My zucchinis, and look how big they're getting now. And some of them are actually start to flower. I'm not sure if you can see that, but they're doing pretty good. And all I did was I pulled up the grass, you know, and pull the grass up by the roots, and then laid some good 100% leaf compost in there, some humus compost in there, just some really good nutrients, so that way the plants have plenty of nutrients for them to grow. So really important key if you don't have an area that's rich in soil. So some of you might be in an area where there's not that problem. I live in a sandy kind of area, so we have to make sure to put lots of nutrients rich soil in the ground. So, and also let me show you some of my grapes, because they're actually growing pretty big now. Check these guys out, man. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, man, I'm gonna have my own table grapes. It's gonna be nice. So And if you don't have the space, if you don't have, you know, a yard, a grass, whatever, to grow your own zucchinis, don't you worry. I got an idea for you. I'm going to show you the ones I got growing in my pots. Come on. Okay, so we're out front now, and these are the plants I have growing in my containers, and these are actually about 15 to 20 gallon size pots. And I have my zucchinis, and I have a crooked neck squash growing, and actually they're growing extremely well, and I'm extremely happy about this. I got them in big size pots because I wanted to make sure that the roots have plenty of room to grow, and it seems to be doing extremely well. Look at all the vegetables that are growing. You got squash going in there right now, and it's just like, oh my God, it's completely amazing. And so if you don't have the space, not to worry. All you gotta do is get yourself some pots, and as long as you have plenty of sun, you should be fine. So make sure that if you do this, that you get plenty of sun, at least 6 hours worth of sun, planted by a window or whatever's your best convenience. So this is what you can do to grow your own foods, guys. So go out there, do what you got to do, and have fun with it. So I'll see you guys next time on the Raw Food Muscle.